Hello and welcome to another edition of the Spike Ridgley Show. Our show brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host Dave Sheets, along with the manager of the Massillon Tiger baseball team, Spike Ridgley. Spike, welcome back to the show.
Great to be here.
Your Tigers are now 12-10 after a come-from-behind win on Monday night over Glen Oak. As the team record sits at 2 games over 500, how are you currently feeling about the team's play as you wind down the regular season?
Yeah, you know, we were close a few times in the previous week, and just didn't have enough to pull them out in the end. Had a couple of leads in 2 games, like Tuesday, Wednesday last week, against good teams, and we weren't able to finish. So to be able to come out, you know, Saturday against Lake and then Monday against Glen Oak, and they were back and forth affairs, kind of longer games, starting to swing the bats pretty well. Still trying to limit the walks pitching-wise and some of the free bases that we're sort of distributing right now. But the bats have started to come alive, and I've never questioned the effort of this group at any point. So, you know, as those technical things start to catch up with the effort and sort of will and want to, we're starting to see some games where we're starting to beat a couple of pretty good teams in the last few days. And we're excited to get another opportunity, several of them here in the rest of this week.
This past Friday's home game against South Range was designated as senior night.
Yeah.
Tell us more about those festivities. It
was awesome. First of all, credit goes out to our booster club for really helping to line that up. And our announcer, Mr. Ryman, did an awesome job. BP always, Brian Patches helps to make sure we have all the things that we need to have a successful evening. The rain held off. We played a really good opponent. And it was neat. Each senior had a stool with the baseball OB on it, and you know they kind of read their favorite baseball memory, and we got to have them come out with their parents on the mound there and get a picture, and then we got a neat group photo. Great group, great senior class, and then what was really fun was watching the parents throw the first pitch to the players. So. Great event. We were really fortunate that the weather held off the way that it did, and it was a nice opportunity to kind of honor the seniors.
Then on Saturday, the program celebrated the 30th anniversary of the 1994 team. What can you tell us about that day?
That was emotional. That was an emotional day. I feel very grateful being raised the way that I was, being able to watch my dad go through and do the things that he did when I was a kid, and you know, he was always very firm and held me accountable, but he'd always showed that he cared, and it was neat to watch that team in particular, because it was almost a group of it was like his sons almost. I mean, he cared about them that much, and to watch those guys from where they started the season. I think I was in 8th grade so I got to follow pretty close when your dad's doing the head coaching job, and it was just. Watching those guys develop throughout the season and then to put together the run that they did back then was really neat. And then for it to be 30 years later and we had almost all of them back. What a neat thing. Friday they had a golf outing. Coach Merceric and myself were able to kind of run out there for a little bit and see everybody. And then they had a dinner Friday night and then Saturday was the game. So the ceremony was really cool. The field looked unbelievable. Hack had the field looking just tremendous, and then just the whole day, you know, the guys got to come down. They hit batting practice before the game with our team, so they were excited about that. And then to see our kids battle for 3 hours and 20 minutes, pulled out it was like a football score, it was 14-13. So and then the guys hung around all the way to the end and came out to the group huddle and talked to the team before they left. So one thing that's really special about Massillon is just, you know, how much it means to the people that have been through here, and to see that their passion is still burning strong 30 years later was really neat.
It's not like that in a lot of other places, is it?
No. And when you're from here, it's just it's such a privilege to be able to have done that and still doing it right now.
How about another update on the JV and freshman teams, and maybe highlight some of the younger players you've been hearing good things about?
Yeah, man, are they battling. So because of a couple of injuries and a couple of different things, you know, both teams are kind of playing with like 9-10 guys each day. So they're going out there battling. I got to give credit to the coaches. You know, both records are hovering right around 500. You know, and you know there'll be some weeks where they get canceled 3 days and have to play the next 4, and then you know other weeks where you're playing 5 out of 6 days. But they're doing a good job. They're battling. They're developing. The coaches are staying positive through the season here, and I'm really grateful for that, because the coaches, you know, when you're sometimes it's a tough deal sometimes being a JV or freshman coach. I've done it, and our guys that are doing it right now are doing a great job, because if it rains, the first thing that happens is they'll start, you know, cancel the JV game so the varsity game can be played at the other site, you know, and so then the leadership that our coaches show to stay positive, because the kids are going to go off of what the coaches look like in their demeanor and how they're acting, and our coaches have done a tremendous job. So, and then some of the kids that are just really doing a nice job are, you know, some guys are bouncing back and forth, helping us out. You know, Brady Coleman comes to mind, you know, where he'll come up here and maybe catch an inning, but then go back and help the JV team to fill a spot there and help them to maybe win a game. And it's just having guys like that to be willing to do that. And then we got other guys that, you know, they're so invested with the varsity team or are staying here when I'm giving them opportunities to maybe go play there, you know, and they're passing up those opportunities because they want to be with their teammates. So it's been a neat year to see the way that the guys have taken to the team concept and really just being willing to help where they need to.
Thanks, Mike. When we come back, we'll visit with a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Thank you to Reliable Heating and Cooling. Welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. Our Tiger player joining us this week is junior outfielder and second baseman Preston Reinhardt. Preston, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Preston, at what age did you start playing baseball, and do you remember who taught you the game?
I don't remember what age I started playing baseball, but I do remember my dad teaching me while growing up and all that.
As you were growing up, did you have a favorite Major League Baseball player?
I did. It was Francisco Lindor, but right now I look more up to like Fernando Tatis Jr.
Okay. And why him?
He plays with the swag and all that, so yeah, I really like him.
Excellent. I think we mentioned this last week. So many of your teammates also taking Francisco Lindor obviously had a big impact on a lot of you guys when you were younger. In what areas of your game did you work on the most since the end of last season?
I worked on my hitting the most. My hitting needed the most improved. I was confident in the outfield. I just worked on hitting all off season.
When you're not in the lineup for a game, how do you keep yourself ready in case your number's called?
I get myself ready by like, if I get in, I need to show them what I could do and stuff like that. And I never hope for them to mess up or anything. I'm just ready to go in whenever I'm needed.
Finally, tell us something about Coach Ridgley that maybe most people don't know about him.
Coach Ridgley, he's really funny. Like, people think he's more serious, but he's really funny.
Does he tell jokes?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. A lot of jokes.
We're going to have him tell us a joke sometime.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to thank Preston Reinhardt for joining us on the show this week. Coach Ridgley will rejoin the program after we take this time out.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. Coach, we just spoke with junior outfielder and second baseman Preston Reinhardt in our last segment. Please share with us how Preston has contributed to the success of this year's team.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, he's getting on the field quite a bit here, as we move into the sort of final third of the season. But before that, I mean, just the team concept and selflessness was something that, you saw it in the first, couple weeks, and you're like, wow. Can he maintain that, right? And just he did. He has. And what's really cool about it was he's been all about the team from the beginning. And what maybe sometimes kids or parents don't realize is what that does for everyone else. It encourages it from everyone else. And we've talked about several other guys that have been sort of on that path as well that have helped. And when you got enough guys doing that, it helps guys to make good decisions as far as their actions and behaviors and experiences that they're giving to their teammates. We've all heard the adage, it takes one bad situation or one guy to maybe influence in the other direction. Mm-hmm. It takes way more in order to keep that super positive atmosphere. And I would say that he's right up there with some of the other guys that we've talked to that have been just really, really important with that. He's earned a lot of respect from me in that regard. And then what's really cool is, he never said a word the whole year. You never heard a word from his parents. He just kept working hard every day, and we're watching every day in practice. And he just kept getting better, and he kept getting better, and he kept getting better. And he's been starting. He's started a few games and left, a few games and right. He started at second base. He had a big hit in the Glen Oak game, or not a hit, but an RBI. With a guy at third, we're up 1 with 1 out, and 2 strikes. He pulls the ball to the second baseman, and we get the run in. So you really root for a guy like that, and I'm really proud of him, just to see the strides that he's made. But is he contributing on the field? Yes, he is right now. But he was huge in solidifying what the team concept was going to be for this team this year.
As this program airs on Wednesday night, you have 4 games left in the regular season. Let's break those down. As this show is airing, you're home against Dover, another matchup with the Tornadoes. Yeah,
that's become a really pretty good rivalry over the last few years, and that's because they respect us and we respect them a whole bunch. They're very well coached. Coach Fondress does an awesome job with that team. They're a little bit like us as far as they want to bunt, they want to move runners, they want to run a little bit, they're going to pitch well. It'll be a good challenge for us. I'm glad it's not like it was last year where we had to play them 3 times in 1 week, and one of those was a tournament game. So that was a challenge, I would say, for both teams. Just by the time you get to that third one, it's pretty. The rivalry is pretty hot at that point. So no, we respect them a bunch, and that'll be a game that helps get both teams, I would think, ready for the tournament.
A scheduled day off Thursday, then Friday at Jackson. I know that game means a lot to you and your team.
Yeah, it's a big game for our team because it's another great opponent. It's somebody that we know has had success. It's somebody that we know that when we play, we've got to be at our best in order to have an opportunity and in order for that thing to be a great game. So we're looking forward to that, and that's one of those games that you could end up seeing a team like that again later. Mm-hmm.
And then 2 home games to round out the regular season: Saturday against Highland, Monday against Medina.
Yeah, so Highland, I believe, was the state champion last year. I want to say I think it's D3, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. Mm-hmm. But it's a team that we picked up late. With all the cancellations and different things that have happened, we've been trying to pick up teams that are going to really help us get ready for the tournament. They're definitely one of them. Well coached, same situation. I mean, it's a little smaller division, but there's great teams in every division. They're definitely one of them.
Okay. Now, finally, as we wrap up this week's show, the tournament drawing took place this past Sunday. Tell us more about that, who your team will match up against, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, that's always an interesting day because you go in there and you're always prepared for different scenarios, but we're sitting in there and we're thinking, all right, the odds of us playing a Tuesday game this year are probably really good with our record and where it's at. And the odds of us maybe having an opportunity for a bye are slim, but it could happen. So the way it works is we were the 14th seed. There were 13 byes. The reason there's so many byes is because there's 3 districts and 35 teams, 3 different sites. So when it came down to it, there's what's called a double bye line. So sometimes people, that one is there sort of last, because when you earn a bye, you want somebody to have to play the game on Tuesday in front of you, so that they have to use their best pitcher, so that when they get to you on Thursday, they can't throw them. That's part of your reward for sort of having a great season and getting a bye. The bye situation that we're in, along with Mayfield, is a situation where neither team plays on Tuesday. So it's a double bye, and it'll be both teams' best on best. I think they were the 13th seed. What happened was Glen Oak chose to go into an extra game situation. I think they liked their district matchup maybe better there. I can't speak for him. I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. So they decided to play a game on Tuesday, and they were 2 ahead of us in Mayfield, which left it with where we both had an opportunity to play each other with a bye. So we took that. We do have to go there because we took the last slot. But I'm excited. I'm excited because we get an opportunity to play an excellent opponent, somebody we've played a couple of times in the tournament in the last 3 years. And it's somebody we respect a whole bunch, and it's everything on the line. So we're doing everything we can to get ready and be ready to go up there and play our best, and we're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we look forward to next week's show. We'll be wrapping up the regular season and prepping for that tournament game. Best of luck.
Thank you.
As we wrap up this edition of the Spike Ridgley Show, we want to thank Coach Ridgley and junior outfielder and second baseman Preston Reinhardt for joining us. Thanks to our sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.